And also just making those movies, because you know, for me, it's like it's been also my with kids, like the connection that kids have with those movies is really great, and that connect. It's something that you can't really quantify except when you just you see that thing where a kid has experienced that movie at a young age, and it's a nice connection. And my son finally got old enough to actually watch the movies and sort of get into them, and that's like just on that level, I'd make like 30 of them,
I took my two kids to see Terminator 2 when they were 3 and 2, respectively.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The first time they said, "Who's the bad guy? This is the bad guy."
Yes, that's right. That's right. That's all my 4.5-year-old wants to know. Who's the bad guy? Who's the good guy?
Yeah.
Is he bad or good?
Yep.
Interesting.
Have you done anything more to help out the Cove, or is it pretty much a done deal? We're probably going to win.
What you did. You're the one who did it.
Is there?
I don't.
There's a party out there. Are you gonna go out to Los Angeles?
I'll go to. Yeah, I think I'll go to. I'm going tomorrow.
Sunset.
Yeah, I will go to. I'll support it. I have a good feeling about it. I think it's a really good shot. And, I've been with Fisher. Fisher Stevens and I are working on a documentary about Bud Schulberg. So we've been hanging out a little bit, and I think Fisher's just he's found this like new career as a documentarian, and he's really good at it, and he's got a few things that he's working on. So I just think he understands that process of finding a story, and because he was when that movie was there was so much footage, and I think there were a lot of different stories within that, but he really found that story with Louis Sophia. So
right.
But yeah, no, I mean, Enrico Barry's an amazing guy. He's so committed. So I will do whatever. I'll show up wherever. It hasn't really made a lot of money though, the movie, and that to me is kind of the crazy thing, is I feel like that it's such an entertaining film that I feel like more people.
It's extremely engrossing. It's extremely thrilling. Wonderfully cut. It's just inventive. It's so tight and together.
Yeah.
And there's one reason.
Because of the ending, you think?
Because of women.
Yeah.
They don't want to do that. You know, and a lot of and they basically I have this theory. Basically, a couple is going to go to a movie. Okay, well, we're going to see. If the guy's not into seeing something, he can be nudged into it.
Right.
If the woman really wants to see it,
right.
He'll go. Oh, fuck off. But he'll go to it. Woman doesn't want to go see it, she will not be budged. Cannot be touched. I've never seen it happen, and it certainly hasn't happened in my experience.
And also, guys defer to the women. I know I do.
Yeah. So. And they, and somehow they haven't gotten it across that it's not some horrific thing, but the idea of having to witness or take part in a murder of innocence.
Yeah. But the cool thing is that it's actually changed things, which is really great.
That's the great thing. It's ways to go. So, what's your next big big studio thing? Is there something that you got on?
Well, we did the Little Fockers, which is the sequel.
Oh, yeah.
So that's done, and that's coming out Christmas time. But I'm not sure what the next thing I'm going to be doing is at all. Actually. I've been working on this movie that takes place in Africa, Help Me Spread Goodness, and so we just came back from there, which was really great. Went to Lagos, Nigeria, and Mozambique, looking for locations. The movie takes place in Nigeria, and so that would be exciting to do.
You would star, direct?
Yeah, direct and act in it, and it's written by Mark Friedman, who's a very good screenwriter. And
what's the title one more time?
It's called Help Me Spread Goodness, and
is that meant ironically?
It could be. Well, it's sort of thematic and ironic. It's it's a guy that gets an email, and it turns out it's one of those bogus emails that been coming out of there, and he's sort of upset and angry in his life, and he loses some money, gets drawn in, and decides to go over to Nigeria to find the person that ripped him off. And it's the experience he has and his preconceptions of Africa, and sort of being an American who lives in a bubble,
This sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I think it could be really, really interesting, and just the idea of shooting there would be great because it's they've never really done an American movie there, and so we're in the process of trying to get permission from the government. And
I also want to compliment you on the 2 Oscar show things that you've done. One was the Joaquin.
Oh, thank you.
And the other was that thing with Owen about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
They were both brilliant.
Oh, thank you.
For that type of thing. You guys took it at a whole nother level, and that was great.
It's always an interesting experience.
So it made me think that someday down the road, the 2 of you have a real chemistry. You understand.
Owen, I love Owen. I'm a huge. It's funny. Like we made a lot of movies together, and the only reason is because we just truly, I just truly enjoy him as a person and working with him, and he makes me laugh. And and he's in the new Fockers movie, and he's a big part in it, and he was great in it. And I think he's a unique talent. So
you mentioned the college thing.
Yeah.
You didn't graduate?
I didn't. I went to UCLA for 9 months in '83, and then I left.
Owen was saying to me once years ago about about how college is just about sparking and getting you into a habit of being insatiable in terms of curiosity, learning things. That's the whole thing. It's just like your first 9 months of working out. Then you're off on it, and that's all it is. It's really John Huston. You have curiosity. Because I've been to a high school reunion, my 25th. I swear to God, there, that gleam in people's eyes when they're about to go out in the world, and it's like, here it comes. I'm about to do it. No more parents.
Yeah.
And that gleam, I swear to God, at 80%. I'm not saying it was gone, but it was definitely subdued.
Yeah.
They'd gotten to the point where, I got it figured out. I got the, And that is that's you don't have that, man. That's where it starts to go out in general. The light.
Well, I mean, for me, I think the equivalent of that was probably back like in my 20s when we were like doing like the show on Fox and stuff like it was that attitude of like it's just all right, let's try to put it together, let's do it, and it's and it's kind of like in Greenberg, he says like youth is wasted on the young, life is wasted on people. Like there's that thing where you just really don't know. You really think it's kind of always going to be like that a little bit, And there's no way you could not know that, right? You just, and that's what being older is about. Is like realizing, oh, I really should have, And hopefully you had taken enough chances and done enough crazy things in your youth that you don't regret too much for not doing that. But I think that's probably that when you get to your 40s, at least for me, it's like that feeling of okay, now what do I really want to do? What have I really not what have I put off? And but I never had that in college, so I think it all happened a little bit later for me in my 20s.
Well, when you did the show, the Ben Stiller show, you were 20.
I was 26. Yeah, 26.
I mean, so you had to be.
Judd was like 24, 23, like insanely. Never done anything.
Yeah. You have at 11 o'clock, I imagine, right?
I can go a little longer. Yeah, I can go like to 11:10 or 11:15.
All right. Did you guys have? This is a standard question, but I so love the milieu. I so love the natural. I so believed every character in this film, and I felt it was so had so much integrity so I'm presuming, as with all good films, there's a longer version. Did you guys see a longer version? Were you happy with a longer version, or is this really more or less what Noah liked and what you liked?
I saw a first, not a first cut, but like an earlier cut that was a little bit longer, had more scenes in it.
Right.
I didn't see much. Noah really, he really went off and just worked on the film, and then, it wasn't like I was ever seeing cuts of the movie or anything, but I did see the first cut that he was sort of showing to people, and it had a few more scenes in it, but I don't think he cut it because of the length of it. I think it was more, more trying to temper the character, and, it is a fine line with this guy to be able to be with him and to take that, I guess, just to really stay with him, because he is there are a lot of things that he does that are hard to take sometimes, and so I